What is up, people? Your boy NATZ, aka the Hidden Legend, and I'm back again with another great video for you guys to watch to always tune in. So, guys, it's amazing to be back. Can't wait to make more content. So, for today's video, I'll be talking about a very interesting topic that it's kind of sparked a lot of controversy on social media. A lot of people have been talking about this for a while, and I just want to give my opinion, my own thoughts about it, because I just know a lot about this specific topic. It's not something that I have to do extra research for. Like, I have to dig deeper to really know. Like, I kind of already know the points to make and what to say. So there's this massive debate, and I'm seeing this all of the time. Maybe it's just my TikTok feed, maybe it's just my Instagram reel feed, but a lot of people are saying that Beyonce, you know, Taylor Swift, Astro Speed, these famous streamers, these rappers, NBA YoungBoy, you know, a lot of people are saying that these artists, these creators are better than Michael Jackson, man. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? A lot of people, these magazines as well. I'm gonna get onto it, yeah. Therefore, these magazines are saying it as well. The billboards saying it. They're saying that various artists are better than Michael Jackson. They're putting him like eighth, ninth, 10th place out of the 100th. You know, and I'm just gonna explain why this is all nonsensical. This is nonsensical. All of it is. How you comparing a streamer that started streaming a couple years ago to the greatness of Michael Jackson? How does that make any sense? That has to be the most weakest point to ever bring up, or the weakest debate. It makes no, that's nonsensical. We're talking, because obviously today's generation, right? We do have our fair shares of artists that are talented. We have our fair shares of artists that can put on the show. But what we don't understand is, at a time when social media wasn't at its best, at a time when we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have no TikTok, no YouTube, no Apple, nothing. This was a time when wherever you saw was what you got. And someone like Michael Jackson was able to pull it off in ways that is not imaginable. In an era where it was, you had to be crazy. People thinking you were out of your mind to come up with certain ideas because it was never done before, but Michael Jackson did it. Because something like this is, you really have to put your judgment away. Like, you have to give credit where credit is due. You can't be making up these things based on, oh, he bleached his skin, oh, he allegedly, slept with kids, oh, he did this, oh, he did that. You need to leave all of those things out of this debate. You can't involve those things. Greatness is greatness, whether you like the person or not. And that's what, that's why I'm saying a lot of these debates, they're not fair. They're very biased. They're one-sided. Just because, oh, they hear these stories, and most of these stories not even true. There's no actual justifiable conclusionable proof that these allegations and these things that he was accused of was actually true. So it's just, at this point, it's just a conspiracy that is popularized by the media, of course, which the media just loves negativity. Negativity sells so much. So of course people are just gonna say what they hear. Because we kind of live in a generation where a lot of people is based on what they hear. They don't actually go back and do any research or any backup checks on what they've been hearing or what they're seeing or what they're even saying. They're just saying it because, oh, they heard of it. This person said this person said that. These artists have nothing on Michael Jackson, man. I don't care what no one says. These artists have nothing to the greatness of Michael Jackson. The things he did for nations, for people, for the world was not of this planet. The dedication, the hard work. Bro's been famous since the age of 5 years old. What was he doing at 5 years old? What was he doing? Bro was dancing, bro was singing, bro was in rehearsal. What him and his family had to go through. If you look at the history, they didn't come from wealth. They wasn't born into wealth. They had to work hard. You have to respect hard work. It don't matter whatever the person's done in their life. Respect hard work. I respect hard work. If you can work hard, I have respect for you. That family worked hard. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about Joe Jackson. Oh, he was abusive, stuff. Joe Jackson, the reason why we even had a Michael Jackson, we had a Jackson 5, Joe Jackson. Respect him. Put respect on his name. And I know, yes, like some of the things he did was pretty extreme to his sons. And was it the best thing to do? Probably not. But look at the end result. Greatness doesn't come easy. It's not supposed to be easy. We'll all be famous. We'll all be like Michael Jackson. We'll all be on top of the world. Greatness, it comes with sacrifice, hard work, and discipline. It comes with not being normal. And a lot of times in this channel, I always speak about that. The most successful people were never normal. They were never looked upon as normal growing up. Teachers were down them, friends were down them, people were doubting them. They had to just prove them wrong through their work. It's the same thing with this story. Bro's been famous since the age of 5. He grew up, he got to his early 20s, he went solo, he took the world by storm, dropping bangers after bangers, Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Smooth Criminal, Dangerous. He was even a truth speaker, a revolutionary, you know, like a Martin Luther King, like a Malcolm X. They don't really care about us. Heal the world, Scream. All of these songs about what? What was those songs about? You go look at the lyrics. They don't care about us. Heal the world, Scream. I'm trying to tell you something. He's trying to tell you how the world operates. Michael Jackson was doing it before social media. And people have all of these things to say. Oh, he was this, he was that. Rubbish. I'm not trying to hear that. Give him credit. Especially if you're black. If you're black, you have to give him. You don't have a choice. Give him credit. MJ was the first. He's the reason why black artists are even distributed mainstream like the way they are today. Michael Jackson started that run in the early 80s, right? These radio stations, these things like MTV, these music stations, they wasn't having a no black artists. They were against it. They had no they rejected. In fact, they actually rejected Michael Jackson at first with his music. But it wasn't until he dropped Thriller that's when I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's cold. All right, we need people are really wanting him to be on the TV screen. We have to air him, and he made history. He made history. He changed the game of music videos. If you're an artist right now, if you're trying to make music, if you're trying to blow up, especially if you're black, Michael Jackson made that a path easier for you. He's the reason why these platforms are even allowing you to make music because of Michael Jackson. He made that lane easier for you to publish your music. He started that. He started that. He was a very smart businessman. He owned majority of the music that was being published as well. Country music, rap music. He owned Eminem. He owned Eminem. He owned his music. He was a very smart businessman. Very. Let's talk about the impact he had on people. A performance made many people faint by the glance of him, the greatness. I'm not seeing that today. I'm not really seeing that much today. I'm not really seeing any artists dropping bangers upon bangers. Like, not to say, of course, people are talented, people had it because right now the world is sort of changed as well. You know, you have to realize it was a different era then till now. That's why this comparison doesn't really. You can't really go far with this comparison because it was a completely different world. Like he started most of the things that we have today. The easy access to making music. He started that, especially for black artists. He started that, so that's why is it's a bit hard for you to really try and compare him to now, because he started a wave. Like it in itself, it's hard to really compare someone that started something to what they no. It's hard to compare someone that made something popular to what people are doing now because that person made it popular. That how can you compare that person made it popular? So I don't get how the comparison comes through. Like, it's interesting, I get it. And we do have artists that potentially, they're talented, on the same level, stuff like that. I think the one that makes the most sense, I'll be honest, I hear the Chris Brown one. I hear the Chris Brown comparison. I hear it. Do I think he's better? I do not think he's better, but it makes sense. You know, he can sing, he can dance, you know, he can amaze a crowd. He's been famous since he was younger. That makes some sort of sense. But the influence, the impact on people's lives, the artistry, MJ was on another level with it. And I think, will we ever get anyone better than that? I do not think so. I do not think so. And I feel like a lot of people, like, they hate accepting that. That's why they like making up whatever, like, they make up these over the top excuses that have all of these things to say. All of these things to say. I think part of it is because they can't really accept that, will we really get anyone better than Michael Jackson, man? Will we actually get anyone better? The music videos, man. The music videos. You got the Lean and Smooth Criminal, Dancing with the Zombies and Thriller, the outfits, the performances, the moonwalk, the white socks, the fedora, the larger than life outfits, performances. Come on, man. In my eyes, that's artistry. See, I was, you know, I was really young when he died. I was really young. I remember watching his funeral on TV when I was younger. I was very young when he died. And in my early years, right, I knew about these artists. You know, the Lady Gagas, Katy Perry's, the Tiny Tempers, the Bruno Marses. I knew about these artists. But when I got introduced to Michael Jackson, as a kid, I saw something different. I saw something that I'd never seen in my life. A sound I never heard, a voice I never heard, a message I never heard, a performance I never seen. To this day, I'm mesmerized, man. To this day, I'm mesmerized. As a man, how is it that years later I'm still going back? How is it that people are still listening? He's been dead for what, 16 years now, 15 years now. Why is it that people are still going back to listen? Why? What? Why can't people just forget? Oh yeah, he's dead. Oh well, let's move on to the next. Oh, this artist is better. There's thousands of artists that have made an impact on the music industry. 20, 30, even possibly 40 years in the industry. They passed away. People move on. But why is it that people are still obsessed with Michael Jackson? Why is it that little kids, toddlers, are dancing to his music? They put his music on. The parents may put their music on. You've all seen it on social media. The parents put his music on. You got the little toddler dancing to it. Why is it? Why isn't it not the same for other artists? Some TV shows can't even do that for kids these days. Some cartoons can't do that for kids, but a Michael Jackson video can do that for a child, though. Why is it? Why is it? There's something to think about. Why is it? Why is it that these kids that were born years later know his name? They're dancing, they're copying. I remember I was seeing this young boy. I think he was like 5, 6 years old. Bro was literally emulating, copying his moves. Like, this is a man that done all of those things before you even existed, and you know him, and you're influenced, and you're dancing like him. Why is it? Why is it? Legends don't die. A legend will never die. Martin Luther King's words will live on. His message will live on. Malcolm X's message will live on. Muhammad Ali will live on. What he said will live on. They may not be here, but the message lives on. So this debate, of course, people are gonna say what they want to say, man. I'm not trying to change that, but my rendition of it, the facts, they're not correlating. They're not making sense. They're not making sense. So with that being said, it's been your boy NATZ, the Hidden Legend. I hope you guys, now understand where I'm coming from with this debate. I say Michael Jackson the greatest of all time, man. We're not getting anyone better. I do not think so. We're gonna get anyone better. Talking, breaking, doing it all before the internet. The albums, best-selling album of all time. The Businessman, owning all the rest of his music, and of course, that led to something tragic within his life, the demands of his life because of those things. But ownership, being a smart businessman, Michael Jackson was that. You know, making it way easier for artists, especially black artists, to actually make it in the music. Making the music industry, like actually making music. Michael Jackson made it easier for them. If it wasn't for him, it's gonna be very hard. It's gonna be very hard. But he paved the way, though. Respect that. Been famous since the age of 5. Respect that. He paved the way. He made it easy. He walked for us to run. He walked for us to run. So come on. We need to put respect on the legends' names, man. Especially Michael Jackson. Put respect on his name. Don't let whatever the media, those at you, at the public, um, make you think that he's not the greatest. Come on, Michael Jackson the greatest, man. Stay legendary.